Okay, we have this absolute stunner. Our next speaker is Chani Carosso. She's 29 years old. She's a 50 Club NMD. Prior to the Juice Plus business, she's a registered nurse, specialising in anaesthetics for 5 years. I can barely even say that word. I've practiced. She joined the Juice Plus business in November 2015, and just under 2 years ago was about replacing her income to leave her job within 12 months in the business. She set that aim and made it happen almost to the day, right? We're really excited to have you hear from her soulful approach to owning the business. What we wanted to create for you today was a variety of speakers that could have lots of different touch points to show you the diversity of our tribe and all different things that matter to different people. So she's always loved helping others with their health and wellness. This is why this business made so much sense to her. She's funny, she's a little pocket rocket, she's full of golden nuggets, and she's going to share with you her secrets of getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. Please welcome Chani to the stage.
Hey guys, wow, it's a lot of people in this room. How amazing has today been, right? Amazing lineup of speakers today. I feel so humbled to even be up on stage today and sharing the stage with them, but not only that, sharing a little bit of me with you. And I'm really excited because I want to share a concept with you today that I've experienced over the last 2-ish years of my business. And that concept I call universal assignments. So a universal assignment is essentially, and I'm sure everyone here's experienced them, it's essentially a challenge that's been placed in front of your pathway because the universe is testing you to see how badly you really want whatever it is that you've proclaimed. Does everyone understand what I'm saying? So I've had several of these universal assignments, and I'm only going to talk about 4 today. But there's something really amazing that's happened from those universal assignments, and I call them the 4 magic ingredients. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. These 4 magic ingredients, I feel like, is what really helped me propel my business. And I love that Linda calls them blessings, a blessing and a lesson. It's totally what this is all about. So I'm really excited to share that with you and take you through a journey of the last 2 years. So is that cool if I share that with you guys today? Woo! All right, awesome. So our brains are wired really amazingly. Our brains are wired to protect us, and we're constantly in survival mode, right? So our brains are designed to keep us alive. It's designed to keep us out of situations that are uncomfortable or a little bit scary or out of the norm. And so coming into this business, we face a bit of a problem because this business is all about living outside of the comfort zone, right? It's all about doing things that are completely scary, totally out of the comfort zone, out of the norm. But if there's anything that I've learnt, it's that if it's too uncomfortable or too scary or too expensive or too cheesy, whatever it is to you, if it's going to change your life, it's going to be uncomfortable. And without the uncomfortable, your life doesn't change. So I came across this concept of universal assignments because I feel like with every level comes another devil. And when I say this, I don't mean like this evil, nasty devil that comes up from the pits of hell, and it's totally not what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to say is that whenever you proclaim to the universe that you want something, whether it's more customers, more team, a bigger paycheck, a thriving business, what you're actually saying is that I wholeheartedly am so ready for the lessons that come to me before that journey. And when I get to that level, I am wholeheartedly open to the lessons that I will learn. So I kind of love that our compensation plan looks a little bit like this. And some of you might be able to relate to this. And when I say another level, another devil, this is exactly what I experienced through my journey in this business. And so I'm going to talk about 4 of them. So I remember my first universal assignment like it was yesterday. And I was an SDVF, and I was fresh meat. Hands up here who's been here for about a week in the business, a month maybe. A few hands, awesome. The person who invited you today is probably thinking, oh my God, toilet break time. But I promise you it's not a toilet break time. I just want to be really real and authentic with you guys today. I built my business 99.9% on social media. And with that comes really strategic posting. Because what I post and the energy that I give out and the vibe that I try and attract, there's total strategy behind that. That's my branding. So on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is, it's totally a highlight reel. And I'm the first to admit that because I know the type of person I want to attract to my business. And so I'm really strategic about what I post. But behind the glorified Instagram posts, there's a real life person going through some real life shit, base down moments, meltdowns, you name it. That's totally what this business is about, and that's what I want to share with you today. So my first universal assignment, SDVF, I'd been in this business for me, I'm going to say about a month or 2, and I'm going to be completely honest, I was a total closet juice plusser. Do you guys know what a closet juice plusser is? Yeah, some head nods there. So I was totally ashamed of what I was doing. My friends had no idea that I was involved in this business. No one knew what I was doing. I was so sneaky about it because I had no belief. And so I'll never forget the day I'm scrolling on Facebook and one of my closest girlfriends did a post, and it was a launch post. It was I'm so excited, I've just joined this business and I can't wait to work from home with my babies. And I was like, she joined Juice Plus? Oh my gosh. And I was so offended, like a totally dagger to the heart. I was like, she's not on my team. Like, how did this happen? And all of a sudden, all these thoughts started to go through my mind, like, am I not good enough? Like, why wouldn't she want to join my team? How rude of her. So I was really offended and I was really hurt. And so I confronted her, and I remember saying to her, what's going on? Like, why wouldn't you join my team? I don't understand. Like, I'm so happy for you because this opportunity is so amazing, but I'm really hurt. And her response was a massive slap in the face. And it was, Chani, I had no idea you were doing this business. Like, since when have you been a part of Juice Plus? Why don't you post about it? And it really made me think, it's because I have no belief. I had no belief in myself. I had no belief in this industry. And I definitely didn't have, I had belief in the product, but I hadn't experienced enough to just be like an all-out juice plus, all right? So I want you guys to open the page to where we're up to, and I want you to rate your belief from 0 to 10. 0 being like, I absolutely have no belief in this. 10 is like, I'm raging out of the closet. Because the one thing I want to tell you guys about is that if you do not have belief, if you don't have belief in the product, in the industry, in your team, in yourself, you will be going nowhere. And if there's anything on that piece of paper that's less than a 10, you've got to go to work. Because that's what I did. I went to work, I went to town on my belief and really brought my belief up to a 10 in every aspect. And I can't explain to you what happened after that. I hit SC. So that was really cool. That really helped me propel. So my second universal assignment, I'm pressing backwards. Derp. Okay. So my second universal assignment, I remember it so clearly. I was an SC, and I remember I was on my way to work. I was still nursing at the time. And I had no fuel in my car. My little thingy was flashing, and I was running late for work as usual. And I pulled over into a petrol station to fuel up, and I look inside my wallet, and I've got $5. Now, totally being completely honest, I was really good at being broke. I had never had any money. Like, my money would come in, and then my money would go out. And I'd literally give myself $40 for groceries, $20 for the week, and whatever was left over I'd put in my car, and hopefully that would get me from A to B. So I have I've got $5 in my wallet, and I've still got 7 days until payday. And I'm stressing out a little bit. So I walk over to the Bowser, and I remember just picking up the fuel thingy, putting it in my car, looking at the Bowser, and it's $1, $1.50, $2, $2.90. Has anyone been there? You know, when you're just like, you know, and like $4, $4.50, $4.80, $4.90, $5, $5.05. Oh my God. And then you like turn your car inside out, like you put your hand through all the little cracks and you're like, come on, I just need 5 cents. Anyway, walk inside this petrol station, absolutely mortified, not because I didn't have the 5 cents, well, that was definitely a part of it, but because I'm putting $5 of fuel in my car. Now, I know there are people in this room who have been there, and I know what it's like. And I know that there are people in this room who are maybe there right now. And we laugh about it now, and in hindsight, I can laugh about it. But in that moment, that hurt. And I remember walking into that petrol station with my $5 note, begging for 5 cents, walking back to my car, totally embarrassed, sit in my car, put my seatbelt on, hands on the steering wheel, tears streaming down my face. And it was in that moment that my future just flashed before my eyes. I all of a sudden was really, really excited for my future because I knew for a fact from that day forward there was absolutely no way that I would live like that again. And I created a vision for myself. All of a sudden, my goals and my dreams were much bigger than building a little team. It became way bigger than that. And so I want you to go to this part of the booklet because, guys, I can't explain to you how important your vision is. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? What do you want to learn? What do you want to experience? What do you want to see? For that moment, I realized that I did not want to live a mediocre life any longer. And I realized the gift that I had in this business, and I saw the uncapped potential that this business could be for me. Do you guys reckon that you're here as a coincidence? Does anybody here think that this is a total coincidence that you're sitting in this room right now? Because it's not. This business, there's no such thing as a coincidence. Coincidences are seriously just two massive events that coincide together and make massive magic, and that's what this is, and that's what I realized on that day. And so all of a sudden I had this vision. I knew that no matter what, I was going to create for myself a multiple 6, 7+ figure income, because I knew what I wanted to create. I knew who I wanted to be. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew how I wanted to give back. And I knew that I needed an abundant financial situation to create that. Not just because I like to collect shoes, but because I know that that life that I want to live, I'm worthy of that financial situation, and I know what it will cost for me to get there. So that was my second universal assignment. And I wish I had more time for you guys to sit and really reflect on this, but I'd love for you to take it home and do the homework. Because after I had that vision, my business just went, like literally, I couldn't control it any longer. It was just out of control. And so my third and my fourth universal assignment, I'm going to squish together because it was a double whammy, and it was a harsh lesson. So I'm SSC at this point, and I had a small little team in the States, and there was about 12 girls from the States, and conference in St. Louis was coming up. And I had never been to conference, but I'd read the books. I knew that all the greats said that you go to conference, you go to events, you fly across oceans, you drive days for it, no matter what, you are there. And so I was all in. I was ready for massive action. And so I rallied my little American team, and all 12 of them said yes, and I was so excited. Now, they all said yes, but all of a sudden the excuses started to come in. You know what it's like, we've all been there. Oh, I can't afford it, my partner's this, my job's that, it's my dog's birthday that weekend. Like, they all start to come in and you're just like, oh my gosh. So I couldn't afford it at the time, but I paid for these girls' accommodation because I saw the potential in this business, and I knew that if I treated it like a business, I would get results back. And so I balled out, kind of like Lorian on the credit card, and got some accommodation for these girls because I knew that it would just really help all of us. And 4 weeks out, I start to get the messages. Hey, Shan, just wanted to let you know, like, I'm so grateful, but I'm unable to make conference. Okay. Next message. Hey, Shan, I'm really sorry, but work's not letting me get the time off. I'm not going to come to conference. And my 12 slowly became 10 to 8 to 5 to 4. It's literally when I had 2 people left. And I remember just thinking, I can't even afford this, but I'm going all that way. Like, all of a sudden, shame, blame, and justify. Celine would have had a field day with me. And I went anyway. I decided, you know what, this is going to be amazing. I've got my 2 teamies going with me. Like, I'm fully committed. Let's do this. Non-refundable accommodation. Who cares? Like, let's just live it up. And I remember being on the tarmac at Brisbane Airport about to fly to LA, and I get a message on my phone. And it was one of the girls that was coming to conference, and her message read along the lines of, hey, Chani, I just want to thank you so much for all the love and attention and everything you've poured into us. I just wanted to let you know I'm not coming to conference, and I'm also stepping away from the business. Like, literally, if the doors weren't closed on that plane, I would have walked off. I was furious. I was like, why is this happening to me? How is everyone just dropping like flies? Like, why doesn't everyone else see what I see? And so I'm literally sitting there in tears. Like, I've got one girl left, and I swear, if she cancels on me, like, I'm going to throw down. So I went to America, I went to conference. It was an amazing experience. I'm so glad I went. I got over my little hissy fit. And there was one thing I learnt at conference that I didn't have, and it was culture. There was something that I hadn't yet picked, and that was creating a culture within my team so that it is so sticky that that would never happen. And I love the Americans, like the culture over there, like they're like family. It's incredible, and that's definitely something that I learnt over there. But I also realised that for me to create a culture in my tribe, to be able to influence people on how to think and how to speak and how to be about with their business, I was going to have to become a leader. I really had to step up. So all of a sudden, I went to work on my culture in my team. It was all about what are our ethics, what's our personality, what's our theme, what are our colours, what's our identity, what's our philosophy, how do we act to people when they criticise us or they judge us or they've got opinions or they've got things that are not so nice to say. How do we act back? We act out of love, no matter what. And what is it like when we all hang out together? Are we having fun? Is it flat? And I tell you what, when we hang out together, it's like everybody knows about it. And because I worked really, really hard on my culture, and I knew for a fact if I was going to create a culture that was that strong, I had to become a leader. And I was going to have to step up. So I want to ask you this question, and I want you to really think about it. Who do you need to become? I know there are some people here who are brand new, but I want you to pre-frame yourself, because in 4, 6, 8, 12 months' time, you're going to have to step up and be a leader. So who do you need to become? What do you need to take control of in your business? What do you need to learn? What are the characteristics that you now have to take on to become that leader? And what's your emotional intelligence? I don't have too much time to talk about emotional intelligence, but there's this incredible book. If you haven't read it, guys, take a photo of it. It's insane. And it really taught me about my emotional intelligence, not just for life, but in this business, because we all know that we're going to have people who quit on us, who have bad things to say about us, who have opinions, judgment, criticism. We're going to have rock star teamies who leave. We're going to have customers who don't reship. And you need to have that emotional intelligence and that leadership and that culture behind you to really own that. So I want you guys to go to your gratitude section of the book. Because the reason I'm telling you all of this isn't because I want you to freak out and think, oh my God, that's what I've got coming. Because if you were to ask me if I would change a thing, I wouldn't. If I could turn back time and change a thing, I absolutely wouldn't. If anything, I would wish that that situation or that universal assignment would come 10 times harder so it could ram that message 10 times harder inside me. So I want you to be super grateful for the things that come about, because I promise you the reason why these challenges or universal assignments, whatever you want to call them, the reason why they come about is to teach you a lesson and to really shape you into who you need to be. And you know that ladder we had up on the slide just before? You think it stops at NMD? Absolutely not. There's like this other secret little step that happens, and it's just continual growth. It's continual, how can I be better? What characteristics have I taken on? Who have I become? Who can I help now because of this? So I want you guys to write down a universal assignment that you feel you're currently going through. It could be business related, it could be life related. I just want you to be really open and honest with yourself, and if you have to write it in like big black pen, do it, go for it. I want you to think about what's happening for you right now. And I want you to think about this. What are the benefits or the positives from that current experience? I know it's hard to think about the positives that's from a universal assignment, but what is the good out of it? And who do you need to become to overcome that situation? Do you have to be stronger? Do you have to be clearer? What are the characteristics that you need to take on so that you know that you can overcome that universal assignment? And then those characteristics, how can you use those characteristics in the future? What are the benefits of having those characteristics? I want you to really think deep about it. And now, because you have those characteristics, who are you going to help? Who can you help? Now, imagine that you never experienced that universal assignment. Would you still trade it for a different experience? I definitely wouldn't. So, I want to leave you with this. Please don't make any mistakes. We are not shaped by the experiences that happen to us, but how we perceive them and react to them. What we say to ourselves in the privacy of our mind, it matters. It drives our behavior, which drives our destiny, which shapes our world. And this isn't just my opinion, guys. You look at all the successful people in this room, and all of them have this behavior that everything's figure-outable, and success leaves clues, and that's a writer-downer. What we need now more than ever, and what we know now more than ever, is that we need to be surrounded by people who think like this. And, if I start to think about my creative and collective challenges that have happened to me in my life, I think about how everything was figure-outable in hindsight. And so Instead of feeling depressed or depleted or disempowered, I want you to feel courageous. How good does it feel when you've smashed through a challenge and you know you've done a really good job? There are going to be moments in your life when an opportunity is presented to you for you to change something or do something, and we are one choice away from changing our lives. We are one choice away from a different relationship, from a different financial situation, from a different job, from a different business. Literally just one choice. And are you going to be the type of person who looks at your universal challenges in the face and calls them by their name, acknowledges them, and overcomes them? Or are you going to be someone who retreats? Everybody here, I know, goes through doubts, and I definitely do, and I have. And, sometimes we go through those moments of, am I worthy enough? Can I do this? I don't think I can. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. You know in your heart of hearts that you are capable. You are absolutely divinely blessed and capable, and you know that you can do this, because I know that if I can do this, you can do this as well. So thank you, and I'd love to hear a universal assignment.